in life you go like this, things go crazy fast, you make hundreds of millions of dollars, and then things slow down. It doesn't go bad, but it's just like stagnating. It's just like freezing, boom, then you go up again. And I learned it again, every few years, I learned the trick that I already know. And you forget it, and then you wake up again, and then you're like, it's exactly the same over and over again.
Yeah.
And that trick is, you put yourself out there too much, you communicate with people too much, you push them too much because you know better than them. They start to dislike you, and your business go down.
Yeah.
And then you start feeling it, and you're like, you know what, maybe I step back. Then you start doing your own thing. You're not interacting with those people anymore. Those people start following you, they start liking you more, and then they're inviting you again. That's like crazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It sounds crazy because it's not only because you're cocky, but it's just like people don't like it when you give them comments that you say like, listen guys, you do a great job, but keep in mind, change this because it's wrong. And then they feel attacked by you, and you say, listen, I just do it to help you. I just try to give you positive criticism. I don't try to pull you down. I think you're a great guy. Yeah. But in the meantime, they don't call you anymore because they feel offended. No. But then people go really fast because then you see it, all black people are like that.
Yeah.
This is the people in their mind. And then other people say like, oh, that guy's from South Africa. But you cannot trust South Africans. And then some people are stupid enough to start believing shit like that. Yeah. No, I already let go a long time ago. I don't think like that because it makes no sense.
And obviously the major major gap that we all know we as South Africans have in terms of where we are relative to where we need to be. Some people have highlighted things like South Africans have Ubuntu, but we don't necessarily work together, which I agree with. And one of the comments I made on LinkedIn today was somebody was talking about how amazing we are as a country. I said, no, we tap ourselves on the back a little too much. We all know we still have a long way to go to become the kind of people that we need to become before we actually deserve to achieve the kind of success that we need to achieve. And it's not because I'm negative, but I'm just being real, Hi everyone, it's KK Diaz again, your A-Game business coach. And today's segment is called the South Africa's Outside In Perspective. And today I'm featuring my good friend, one of the best coaches, one of the best mentors in and around the world. His name is Evengroen, and he's a friend. He's a mentor. He's really somebody I've worked with over the last few months. And we are looking forward to doing greater things in 2019. And today we're going to share a little bit of what that is about. Alex, always a pleasure to see you. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks very much for having me. I'm always happy to see that big smile on your face and saying good things about me. That makes my day even better than what it already is. So Awesome. Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. So my time is 10 past 2 here. What time is it over there? And tell us where you are.
Right now it's 7:11 in the evening. I'm in Cambodia right now. I'm originally from Holland. So it's getting dark and it's a beautiful warm day, 30 degrees, and great day as always.
Awesome. Alex, so for those who don't know who you are, please give us a soundbite of who you are, what you do, and how you're changing people around the world.
Okay, fantastic. Well, my name is Alexander, and people normally have a difficulty with my last name. My last name is Evengroen, if you pronounce it the way people say it in Holland. And many people just call me Evergreen because it's actually my last name is from Scotland, and it was Evergreen before. So Alexander, or you can just say me Alex, that's okay. So I am world #1 success coach, and that's self-proclaimed because I will say like, who's the one who making that decision? But many people told me that, so I like that title, so I kept it. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm in real estate already for many years. I traveled around the world. I left 2 decades ago from Holland. I lived in China for many years. I lived in Ghana, Malawi, in Thailand, Singapore, and now in Cambodia for the last few years. I'm in a lot of committees. I'm just being promoted to the chairman of the MGM Real Estate and Construction Committee. And in the meantime, I'm doing a lot of events this year. I just talked to you about it. I did 35 events in Cambodia, in South Korea. I did in Singapore and some other places in the world. And I love to change people's mindset and change the way they think about life, because many people have a tendency to think negative about the future. And if you really, really look deep within yourself and you want something, you can get it. And that's what I like to bring to people. So I bring them energy, change of thinking and believing in themselves. That's all, because many times it is not even that I bring something new. It's just relighting that fire within, and it's already there.
Fantastic, thanks, Alex. So you clearly had a lot of experience on the African continent, and obviously having worked and having businesses and business ventures in South Africa and other African countries. Can you kind of give us a perspective of what you believe Africa's perspective is socially and in business?
Well, firstly, I think that Africa got a lot to offer. Africa is a beautiful country, beautiful people. I mean, it's almost like a box full of crayons. I mean, you can see any color in Africa. And this part is something very, very important. In many countries, you don't have that. You go to countries, everything is white. You go to countries, everything is black. You go to countries, everything is yellow. If you go to Africa, you see any color, any nationality working together, doing great things. And this is something in especially motivational speaking, coaching, being an entrepreneur, moving forward in life, creating opportunities for yourself and as a partner. It is very important that you become colorblind. This is something what I learned when I lived in Africa, when I did business in Africa. If you think colorblind, your opportunities become way, way bigger. And what do I mean by that? Because the first thing what you always try to get rid of is that racial idea. Like, yeah, you're black or you're white or you come from a rich place. It makes no sense. If you use common sense, if you use what is given to you by God and you use everything here in the right order, or you put it in the right order, or you will ask someone to help you to put it in the right order, you can accomplish everything. It doesn't matter. And the moment you start believing in yourself that you can do it and not tell you, I can't do it, but that's it. And you tell yourself, I will do it. That's it. And then give yourself a time frame. And I spoke to many people in Africa and they say, oh, I would like to do this. And I said, okay, but what are you going to do about it to get there? They said, what do you mean? I said, I cannot do that. Says who? And already the self-doubt is such a big issue for them that I'm like, okay, here's a great, great opportunity for me and for other motivational speakers and mindset coaches to just make them aware that every person has the right to become filthy rich. And every person also has the opportunity to become filthy rich, but you have to grab it with two hands instead of just thinking about it. And I will say, like, dream big. I just had an event the other few days, in Saturday and Sunday. And one of the things I said, guys, dream big. And they're all like, yes. I said, but then you have to wake up because people, when dreaming, sleeping, yes or no? Yeah, that's true. Now you have to get into action. Because you dream big, your eyes are closed. Now open up and start moving forward and get things done.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, and I saw that a lot in Africa, what helped and what made other people that I know, good friends of mine in South Africa, in Botswana, in Ghana, in Malawi, help moving forward and become successful is you take away all the doubts. You just ask them, write one A4 with what you think you cannot accomplish. They start writing things down. I cannot do this, I don't have money, I don't have this, I don't have that. And then one by one, you let them see what the solution is actually for their problem. Because the problem is not a problem. A problem is something that needs a solution. And the solutions are there. But you have to make them aware. And after half the page, they are so aware of actually that their problems are just small things that can be changed by a solution that they start having the answers themselves. And you just keep pushing that. You do that for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. And the 6th day they call you, say, listen, today you don't have to come because I already solved everything. I will send you a screenshot. Of course, I still show up. That's not the point. But this is something that I saw in Africa. A lot of self-doubt. People don't believe in them because they say, oh, you know, look at the poor slums and it's all this and it's all that. And say, listen, don't look in a negative sense. Look at an opportunity sense. If it's a poor area, if you have nothing, if you're broke, what is the good thing about that? And you say, what do you mean? Nothing. If you're broke, you're broke. Said, no. If you're broke, flat broke, you got nothing, where are you? At the bottom. Yeah. So where are you going from there? The only way is up, because you cannot go any deeper, you're already there.
Yeah.
And they look at you like, wow. I said, but that's it. It is good to be broke. It is good to don't know what to do. Because the moment you start thinking, you're like, listen, I'm at the bottom. Great. So the only way for you is to go up. The people at the top have to stay there, come up very creative, have to come up with things to stay there.
Yeah.
You are here. You just have to learn and believe in yourself to go up. That's great. And this is something I saw a lot in Africa. In let's say in Asia, in China, and whatever, they think different. They have a different perspective and a different way of seeing things. But that's why I also see that a lot of poor people or a lot of people with less opportunities creating opportunities in China or in Asia. And that's the big opportunity I still see for Africa and especially South Africa. They have a lot to offer. It is beautiful, but there is so much going on right now that people try to find excuses why not to do them or why they cannot. I don't believe in cannot.
Wow, thank you. Wow, I'm so pumped up myself. So two things really that I'm going to ask in the same question, and you know, we'll move on to the more positive stuff. I find that look, I do believe that I'm not a racist, but one thing that I tend to see is being racially conscious of, you know, some of the interactions and activities that I'm involved in myself. I mean, for one, I find it more and more difficult, maybe not so much difficult to do, but difficult to bear, difficult to want to allow it to continue, which is, you know, to allow my Black brothers and sisters to kind of remain on the standards that they are. I think I may be okay with other races because, like you said, they are somewhere up there maybe, and we are low here, and we've got so much work to do. So that's the one perspective, meaning how do we as African, as Black African brothers and sisters kind of just kick ourselves up 1 or 2 gears up? And secondly, how do we find a way to work together? Because I find we struggle a lot amongst ourselves within Black communities to sort of work together, create common visions and move forward. How would you address those kind of two disparities or those two things together?
Well, a few things you have to always keep in mind. Firstly, for me it's easy to say because my stepfather is from Suriname, so he's Black. So I've been among different colors my whole life. I'm married to a Cambodian woman, so she's from a different color. So she's yellow brownish. My stepfather is brown, I'm white, and for me it's all the same. Me, all persons, all human beings are equal. And what I think that you see in Africa is that people still see that they are in a victim role.
Yeah.
What I do and what I talk to Black people is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey doesn't come from a rich family, and she built her empire herself. She became a self-made billionaire, and not only the money, but the influence that she has is unbelievable. And the majority of the people that she, let's say, that she guides towards success, believing in themselves, and so on, and all her books and her programs, TV, are white. It's not only the Black community; it's also the white community. So how is it possible that a Black woman built an empire, became a billionaire, and is an inspiration for the white people? The mindset. Yeah. Everything within is, if you look at the US, look at Barack Obama. I'm not saying he did a perfect job, but he became the first Black president. Many people said it's impossible. Everything is possible if you believe in it, and he did it. And that's the same thing within what you say. You have the Black and white, but also among the Black people, it is animosity. Yeah. You can see that if you really look deeper to the core, that people say, is there a trust issue? I think the most important thing and the biggest issue within South Africa, because now I'm talking about South Africa, and again, I had people living there. I know South Africa quite well. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a South African and I didn't stay there my whole life. But with what I know, the people I know, the things that happen over there, it is a lack of communication. It has nothing to do a lack of education. It is a lack of communication, because of course, education is a very important thing. But the same thing you and I know, if you drive a car, you go to a driving school, you learn to drive, you learn to go left and right, stop, go backwards. But the real driving starts when you have your driver's license. It takes you a year or 2 years to really master the skills of driving a car. That's the same thing when you say, yeah, but you're not high educated or you don't go to university. It has nothing to do with it. Yeah. It is all about communication. And it starts with how you educate your children, how your parents educate their children or our generation. So the main thing is it will take some time, but if the communication is at a certain level that people start believing in themselves, that communication, working together, cooperation is the key towards success and getting out of that pitfall that you're now in. Because South Africa, A lot of stuff happened over there. You had the apartheid, you had the blacks, the whites, the racial violence, and all totally unnecessary. If you really look into it, but you cannot swipe it off. It happened. The moment is now that you say, listen, we're going to fix it. We're going to make it work. We're going to work together. We're going to do it together. You cannot say like South Africa is owned by the black people, because many generations of white people are born there and they see South Africa also as their country.
True.
That's the same thing that you say, America, the white people, the black people, the Chinese, they should not be there because America is owned by the Indians. They were the native people over there. You cannot see things like that. At a certain point, you get interracial, you get a mix, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white, or black, black, or white, white, or white, black, or yellow, or mix, whatever color you want. If there's not a good communication, and every communication that you have with a friend, a business partner, an entrepreneurial idea, or whatever you come up with, it has to be based on a solution. If you communicate, you have to have the end goal in mind. If you do something, if you say, like, listen, let's sit down. Why are we talking, and what is the result that we have in mind? What do we want to accomplish? And I think that black people especially, and especially black men, in my opinion, if they start communicating more with an end goal in mind, things will change. I've seen that many, many times, because the moment they really sit around the table, they come up with an idea and say, like, let's work it out. And you do A, B, C, I do C, D, E, or whatever. You do your portion, you do your portion. Let's bring it together and let's go the next step, the next step, the next step, with an envisioning goal. And that means, let's say, give it 6 months. Things change. When I worked with people within Africa, with the African people themselves, that worked fantastic. And I've seen people change just by communicating very clearly. Sometimes you say things, hey, I can communicate with you. For every problem that you give me, I have a solution. But every solution I bring is not always what you want to hear. A solution is not always positive. A solution is sometimes hard.
Yeah.
If you say, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Okay. What is the solution? Go to bed early, or stop doing things that make you tired and less productive.
Yes.
I'm always broke. Spend less money. Or make more money. You can put it in a certain balance. And it's not always, of course, make more money, but that means you have to work harder. Not always. You can also say, I have to work smarter. Creativity is everything. Yeah.
Wow. Man, it's always
one thing.
Yeah.
When you talk to me, one thing you have to learn from me, and we know each other now quite a while. I always jump from back to forward, left, up, down, right, because I always want to say so many things in such a short time. That's one of the things I'm doing as a speaker. I run so many companies, I do so many businesses. I always want to say a lot in a very short time. So if I go too fast, or if it's getting confusing, just yank the bell and say, hey, listen, slow down, bro.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I always appreciate listening to you and just hearing your wisdom. So I appreciate that. Now, talking about one of the things you said, which is, when you come to Africa, you are coming to South Africa next year. You and I are planning to put together an event called Kings and Queens of Sales 2.0. Now, tell me a little bit about the event, or tell the audience a little bit about the event, what we have in mind, and possibly when we could potentially do this.
Well, the thing is, we talked about it before, and in whatever you do, you sell. It's not even selling a product. You always start selling yourself. So in Asia, I did 2 events, and we talked about it as well. You and me came up with some content that I also used in the event itself. So thank you very much for that also.
Great.
And we did an event in Cambodia. We did one in South Korea, and we did also the 3rd event in Cambodia again. And the main focus was that we learn the steps within selling. What is selling? What does it incline? What does it mean selling? What do you need to sell? Your commitment, your drive, your passion, the knowledge, your preparations, and the whole spectrum from A till Z, from the beginning till the end, including all the objectives, all the problems. What are the problems? How you can see problems? How you can read people, body language? It's all in it. It's a complete package that whatever you sell, real estate, you are in retail, you're selling yourself, you're somewhere that people want to hire you for a certain job, we can help you if you follow the 100 steps that we use and more, because you're never finished with learning new steps in selling. Selling is not selling a product. Selling is getting into people's mind and creating a need. And what I do, and many times when I talk to people and teach them how to sell, I give people a hand. Of course, you always remember the name. And the first thing I say, like, listen, I don't sell you anything that you don't need or don't want. And you give them a hand. That means that at that point, any person calms down, like, oh, it's not one of those quick talk salespeople and try to rob me from all my money. Listen, I'm not going to sell you anything. Within 5 minutes, 99% of the time, if you sell something that is based on value, people say, so how much is it? The first thing I said, like, listen, I told you, I'm not going to sell you anything what you don't need, don't want, so why should you talk about the price?
Yes.
And then people, their eyebrows go up and say, oh, yeah, but it's pretty interesting. That's selling. You have to let them come to you.
Yeah.
Instead of like, listen, I have something, $5,000, you want it? No. Okay. And the second step, because this is something that we do in Kings and Queens of Sales 2.0, we creating that power almost within a person, staying mega calm, mega motivated, super positive, and smile. Selling is always giving the other person a great feeling and being happy that he's around you. Instead of walking into a shop like, okay, let's see what that guy's trying to sell me. That's the big mistake. And in South Africa, there's so much stuff you can sell, and real estate is booming, and the markets are booming, and the technology is booming. So people always try to offer you something, but you have to give the people a feeling that you say, like, listen, talk to me, give me 2 minutes, I'm not selling you anything. I just want to make you aware of something that we have, and then we can talk. If you like it, you can get me a cup of coffee. If not, I'm off.
Great.
And this is something that we got in this event. This event is going to change people's minds and make it 10 times more easy. But we also have the outsides, how you get cold calling, how you get leads, how you move forward, how you're going to go the next step, your follow up, and so on. That's all included in this package. And it's amazing. It's a full day, and we can do a second day, what we're now talking about, Phil, of real-time live coaching on stage. So we get people on stage and we want to see what they learn, because these people will be tired after 1 or 2 days, because we're going to pump so much information in their head. And of course, they also get their books in the end with all the information in it, and they can all have the look backs while they're in bed and like, wow. But it's going to be amazing. This is something that really South Africa can use, and King and Queens of Sales 2.0, it is fantastic because, again, and this is something we discussed, we see men and women equal, and sometimes even the women better, because women are normally in general better in selling because they're very more calm, you know, they're relaxed and
they listen
like tigers. The woman can get to the point, and the guy is like, yes, I'm going to sell. I still want that fire, I still want that energy, but then smart energy. Smart and clever selling is 10 times better than just go to the core, because that's not working.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. We talked about it, and it's also depending a little bit how the African market is ready for us. We're going to do this together. We're going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of positive thinking, changing mindset, getting people pumped up, and not for a day, but I mean pumped up that they really can go out there and get things done and making a difference in their life, getting that big car that they dreamed of, getting their kids to a better school because they make more money, and because they get benefits for their kids. They're even more fired up to keep going, moving forward, and learn even more. And that's what we want to do. We want to continue teaching and guiding people in the right direction. That's it.
Alex, thanks again for sharing. Folks, that's it from myself and Alex for now, at least. What him and I will do post this is we'll definitely be sending you more information. And hopefully by the time this video comes out and you see it, you'll probably be able to see the details of the event that we're going to be hosting in the new year. However, there'll definitely be more information that we'll be posting on social media, via our newsletters. I know he also has a huge database, both of international and local people, local businesses and entrepreneurs in South Africa. So we'll definitely be sharing more information. Alex, thanks again. Any 1 or 2 last words that you'd like to share with your audience?
Well, what I'd like to say, all of you out there, enjoy the holidays, be safe, have a fantastic Christmas. You have to be willing to invest a little bit in yourself. Thank you very much for your time. KK, thank you very much for having me. It's always nice to do things together. Looking forward to the next few steps. I know that you and I are going to do awesome things, and I hope that many, many people will join us on that road to awesomeness.
Thank you, folks. Well, you heard it from the man himself. And I'm also looking forward to hosting you at the Kings and Queens of Sales 2.0 in Johannesburg and probably in Cape Town and Durban, depending how you guys go out there and you follow us and you support us and you do ask us to come to your city. But Johannesburg, definitely we're on there. So Alex, thanks again. It's always a pleasure chatting to you and hope to chat to you soon. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye, KK.